welcome to the special edition of the Newshour. Ladies and gentlemen, finally Mamata Banerjee breaks her silence. Days and days of violence, one life lost. And when she finally breaks her silence, all that she has to say that it is Centre's fault. Centre is to blame for whatever is happening in her state. So we tonight debate, Mamata blame game. Is that her only response? Can she put the entire onus on her political rivals? But before we get to the debate, let's take a quick look at the headlines tonight.
কিছু সেন্ট্রাল এজেন্সির ডাইরেক্ট ইন্টারফারেন্স ইন ফেডারেল স্ট্রাকচার এর জন্যই কিন্তু পুরো প্ল্যান করে প্রি-প্ল্যান
Duck, shrug or pass the buck. That's Mamata Banerjee's strategy to any crisis that hits her state. Now she accuses Centre of colluding with external forces to create unrest in Bengal.
राजनीतिक लाभ के कारण उन्होंने सिचुएशन को बिगड़ने दिया.
Centre won't entertain Mamata's blame game in a strong counter. Union Minister says Bengal Chief Minister refused 400 central troops and let matters get out of hand. Stunning Saturday expose on Times Now as Salahuddin plots with Pakistan to kill Indians. 5 of his own sons enjoy perks of government jobs in India. Their identities revealed for the first time. 4 explosive stings reveal how politicians of the valley have collectively failed you. Netas admit to appeasement. Some cite political compulsions. Others say nothing wrong in employing the sons of a terrorist. Ghotala King Lalu faces fresh trouble. A day after CBI raids, ED raids Lalu's daughter's properties in 3 different locations. Recovers incriminating documents, ED says. On the sidelines of the G20 summit in Germany, Prime Minister Modi seeks the cooperation of United Kingdoms, raises the issue of escaped economic offenders with Theresa May.
You're watching the Newshour Special Edition.
It's been 6 days since communal clashes plunged West Bengal's Bashirhat into a chaos. And it took 6 long days, viewers, for Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee to wake up and break her silence on the issue. But she did not have a word to spare for Karthik Ghosh, whose blood was spilled in the violence over a Facebook post. Nor did she have anything to say about her MLA, who's been accused of fanning communal flames. Instead, she spun a new conspiracy theory, that of Centre's collusion with external forces to destabilize her regime. Can Mamata blame game resort to such blame game, and can that be the answer to everything? That's the question we're asking.
Six days on, the Bashirhat heat is yet to die down. A visiting BJP delegation early on Saturday was blocked from proceeding further as Mamata government escalated the political fight. Within hours, Mamata launching an unprecedented attack, spinning a new theory altogether for the unrest in her state.
এর জন্যই কিন্তু পুরো প্ল্যান করে প্রি-প্ল্যান এবং ইন্ধন দিয়ে কিছু বিদেশি শক্তির হাত আছে যারা বিভিন্ন বর্ডার বাংলাদেশের সাথে সংযুক্ত এবং আরও কিছু আছে। কেন্দ্রীয় সরকারের একটা নন কোঅপারেশন মনোভাব এবং কিছু সেন্ট্রাল এজেন্সির ডাইরেক্ট ইন্টারফারেন্স ইন ফেডারেল স্ট্রাকচার।
The BJP delegation's detention on landing in Kolkata only further escalating the fight.
Meenakshi Lekhi, who is entering the police station, she has been taken into preventive custody because she was going to meet the victims of the Bashirhat communal violence that unfolded on the 3rd of July.
And if everything was hunky-dory, as they are saying, and they have returned 4 units of the Central Police Forces, then we should have been allowed. On one side you're saying everything is good, on the other side you're detaining people, which is very apparent that state government and administration is hiding more than revealing.
The situation on ground showing no signs of improvement, with the TMC MLA who allegedly incited the mob going underground.
Now, while I was covering Bosirhat, I was going there to do ground reports. People did complain about the role of outsiders. They did say that people from outside, because those who tried vandalizing properties, those who tried ransacking people's houses, they did not belong to the neighborhood. In fact, they did not belong to that near vicinity areas. So they also suspected the role of outsiders.
6 days after communal clashes erupted, Didi has ordered a judicial probe. But the centre refuting all allegations made by her.
अपनी कमियों को, अपने प्रशासनिक फेलियर्स को और जिम्मेदारी को वो केंद्र के ऊपर अनाप शनाप आरोप, बिना कोई तथ्य के झूठे आरोप लगाकर डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रही हैं.
This is perhaps the biggest challenge that Mamata faces in her political career. Her state administration has a tough task ahead of restoring normalcy in Bosirhat and Darjeeling. Bureau Report, Times Now.
Tonight, coming up on the News Hour Special Edition, is Mamata blame game the answer?
You're watching the News Hour Special Edition, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
So she's sure that centre is behind this with the help of some external forces brought in through the border also, she mentions. She's also sure that the national media, by the way, is to blame for rumour mongering. She won't take any of her questions. Our principal correspondent, Tamal Sahar, tried asking her about the suspended leader of the TMC, the area in charge of that, but she would have none of it. She wouldn't answer any of our questions. She has nothing to say about who killed Kartik Ghosh, where are those perpetrators of violence, what action has been taken, but she definitely feels the need for a judicial probe. I wonder why, if she thinks all is the BJP's fault. Sambit Patra, good evening to you. Let's say good evening to our rest of our panelists as well. Emma Venkatesh is joining us from Chennai, political analyst. Dr. T.A. Rahmani, president of the Muslim Political Council of India, also with us. Good evening, Ghanshyam Tiwari, national spokesperson for Samajwadi Party, and Sabah Naqvi, a senior journalist from Delhi. Sabah, let me begin with you, and also Sunit Chopra, leader of the CPIM, with us this evening. Sabah, let me begin with you. Do you believe her defense today was the right tactic? Nothing about what the strategy is to bring situation under control, but only and only finger pointing.
No, I definitely think she should have taken some responsibility for what has happened. It was a highly inadequate press conference, and I think this is the weakness of many of our politicians, that when things go out of hand, they refuse to wake up to their own mistakes. Even her charges about BJP or RSS being active over there would have greater credibility if she would handle it in a more, admit to her culpability. Let's understand that in Bengal for a while, because of vote bank politics, there has been the development of these Wahhabi groups in the Muslim community. Now, whether they were the ones who went rioting all over the place, it's not clear. But she has allowed that to happen because she was looking out for a vote bank. At the same time, let's be very clear, I have a whole list of fake images that were circulated by people who are members of the BJP. They take a scene from a Bhojpuri film and they pass it on, and they say this is a woman being, Hindu woman being attacked by Muslims. They take an event in Bangladesh and then they circulate that saying this is a man being killed there. So there is also evidence, once the trouble flared up, of BJP and RSS cadres coming there to sort of, you know, fan the flames as it is, because they have a vote bank, they want to mobilize people.
Yeah.
It's completely valid for them to have political ambitions, but the methods that are being used, they destroy countries, they destroy regions, and let's be very firm about it. So I'm right up front saying Mamata Banerjee has completely refused to look at her own mistakes. At the same time, even the point that she has, which has credibility, you lose it when you do not make when you do not admit to your own mistakes.
So, okay, two major points that you made, and let's address both of them. Let's first begin with the first aspect that you raised, Sabha, and I want to take that across to Dr. Rahmani. Dr. Rahmani, do you agree that she allowed the radicalists and fundamentalists to grow, fester, and now if things are getting out of control, she's pointing fingers at others because she seems to be losing a control over law and order there? Is it a result of her own appeasement policy?
No, I cannot endorse this idea in toto, because whatever we talk about the fundamentalists and the radicals, we don't talk, we talk it without substantiating these kind of things. As far as this particular Bashirhat right is concerned, when I am in touch with the people in Bashirhat, why don't we talk about those people who has conspired about making a Facebook post and then encouraged an innocent 17-year-old
There was one Facebook post, a 17-year-old was picked up, detained, thrown behind bars, Dr. Rahmani. What are you talking about? A Facebook post. There was a time when we used to outrage about the government using the Sedition Act against anybody who had something to say on social media. Today, no, Dr. Rahmani, no, but Dr. Rahmani, that's not fair. That's not fair. As far as the Facebook post is concerned, a 17-year-old was detained for days together. What has happened? What has happened in response to the person who's been lynched?
Setting the houses on fire. And that all started this way. And I say furthermore that I'm sorry, I am unable to listen to you. I'm not getting your voice.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I have to listen through my television set.
Okay, Dr. Rahmani, you know what? We're going to fix that audio with you and we will come back to you very quickly. Let's just take it across. MR Venkatesh wanted to make a point and then we'll go to Shamit Patra and our other panelists as well. MR.
Madam, first thing, a religion of 1,400 years cannot be threatened by a Facebook post by a 17-year-old. Let us be very clear about it. The second thing, Mamata wantedly allowed this situation to develop. This is not something that has happened overnight just because there was a Facebook post. The mobs were collected, mobs were inciting. This type of action that has happened in West Bengal is not something that has developed overnight, or this is not a reaction to a Facebook post. This is building up a pent-up emotions that has been calculatedly built by assiduously built by the political class for the last 6-7 years. Of course, 30 years of left Bengal rule has created a strong foundation. Mamata is only taking up the lumpen element from the left, and she is creating her own vote bank. The third thing, yes, if there is going to be anybody from the BJP, RSS, or anybody, whomsoever, you, me, whosoever, is breaking the law, it is the duty of the state government to put law and order into action. She has to ensure, she has to maintain law and order. She cannot come and say that, look, BJP is doing this, RSS is doing this, so the reaction will come or the action will come from another set of community, and the police and the administration will be supinely indifferent. I'm sorry, this type of attitude, this type of approach to administration means that Mamata has lost the marbles.
Yes.
Mamata is totally out of sync with
and why we
reality.
say, okay,
I think she is
why I asked this question whether her appeasement policy has gone out of control,
and she is not there to blame
MR
people.
Point made.
And
yes, point taken.
Last observation.
Okay.
Just last observation, that blaming outside forces, external forces, is the last resort of every political person who has failed in his administration.
Okay. Now, why we question the fact that whether it's her own appeasement policy that seems to have now gotten out of control is this, viewers, and we've been emphasizing on this for several days. We emphasize on these aspects even when these riots happen. So when Dulagad riots happened, when there were clashes, ransacking of shops, homes were burned down, people were chased out of their homes, their lives completely destroyed. What did Mamata Banerjee come out and say? It is a small matter. It's a local problem. There is no communal angle to it. And this is what has nothing has happened. That was her response. Today she says it is all because of the BJP who's colluding with the external forces. When Malda riots happened in 2016 and everybody knew about it, and when we were reporting about it, she came out and said it was an incident of clash between the BSF and the local people. Now, if this is the level of denial, Ghanshyam Tiwari, then obviously at some point the situation is going to go out of control. If your appeasement policy goes to the extent where the Calcutta High Court has to step in and say that the decision by West Bengal government during Durga Idol immersion was completely arbitrary, a clear endeavor by the state to appease a minority section of public. Let's not forget, there were 12 different places where riots happened even at that time when Muharram and Durga Puja were happening around the same time. Ghanshyam Tiwari, let's call a spade a spade. There is something wrong with that state policy. It's gone out of control.
Tanvi, make a list of the top 3 corrupt chief ministers in India. The list will be all by BJP chief ministers. Top 3 communal chief ministers in India, again all 3 BJP chief ministers. So when you come up and create a story of how Mamata Banerjee is the worst chief minister, you look at her track record, look at Ma Mati Manush, look at her work. Coming to the overall agenda in the country, which the country is on boil, Union Minister Ramvilas Paswan in August 2013 called Bharatiya Janata Party Bharat Jalao Party. And he is now part of this cabinet. So this is his conviction about the party that is ruling the country.
You know, when there were lynchings, Ghanshyam, when there were lynchings happening in Haryana, when there were lynchings happening in Uttar Pradesh, when there were lynchings happening in Jharkhand, we questioned the state government there. Ghanshyam Tiwari, and you were part of their debates. When those incidents happened, when communal incidents happened in BJP-ruled states, we questioned the state then. When farmer protests happened in Madhya Pradesh, we questioned the BJP-ruled government there. So don't be selective today. Don't be selective today. When something is going wrong in West Bengal, first...
I'm not selective. I'm very objective.
Then what do you have to say about Mamata Banerjee not even saying a single word for the perpetrators of violence and those people who killed Kartik Ghosh?
Fake politics of sabka saath, sabka vikas. I am charging BJP voters and supporters to engage in mass mob violence on social media by projecting and supporting false videos, fake images.
Madam,
so where are the arrests? Why haven't any arrests been made? This evening, finally, about those pictures that you're mentioning, about the Bhojpuri film that was allegedly used, finally an FIR has been lodged this evening, a week later. That's what's happening. Where is the action? Isn't the onus of that also on the state government? But the charge is against the BJP, Dr. Shambit Patra.
Technicality.
Dr. Shambit Patra, you must respond to that.
Tanvi, first and foremost, I'm saddened. I'm saddened with the fact that the definition of secularism has been distorted to the extent where Hindus have been excluded out of the definition. If a Hindu dies, no one cries today. And I don't want to distinguish between a Hindu or a Muslim. I don't want to, in fact, discriminate between Hindus and Muslims. But the issue today is no one speaks for the Hindus and someone has to do that. Yes, Muslims are our brothers. We'll speak for them also. But someone has to do this as well, that they have to stand for the rights of the Hindus, which is being massacred in West Bengal. As far as the conspiracy theories of Mamata Banerjee is concerned, let me remind you of December 2016, where 2 toll plazas in West Bengal were manned for a short span of time by the Indian Army because they wanted to collect certain data about the passage of the vehicles. The same Mamata Banerjee conducted a press conference saying that the army was trying to take over the government and there was an attempt of coup. So as far as these conspiracy theories being grafted by Mamata Banerjee is concerned, these are abundant examples of these conspiracy theories which don't cut any eyes, and that's the reason as to why I don't even like to respond to the Mamata Banerjee conspiracy theories. But remember, today the proportion of appeasement in West Bengal by Mamata Banerjee has acquired Bhashmasura proportions, in the sense that at the end of the day, this appeasement of minority would be the reason as to why the Mamata government was lose its sheen and people will vote her out of power. Because you cannot at the end of the day have two means, two yardsticks of governance, one for the Hindus and one for the Muslims. We have seen as to how consistently Mamata Banerjee has been doing this. 2,500 rupees as stipends for the Muslims and for the Imams across the state, nothing for the Hindus, and today the demand has increased this to 20,000 rupees. She even wanted to open a Muslim specific hospital, thanks to the court of the land, that the court dismissed this. Thirdly, she went to the extent of changing the curriculum of the state. She could not bear this Indradhanush's name in Bengal, where it is called as Ram Dhanu. She changed it to Rangodhanu, because she felt that if Ramdhenu, which was mentioned in Bengali since ages, if the name Ram appears, then it would be totally against the secular fabric of the country. She made it Rangodhanu. Astonishing fact is the color of Neela, that is the blue color in Bengali, is called as Akashi. Since the day Bengal came into existence, since the day Bengali is being spoken, it is called as Akashi. She has changed it in the curriculum to Ashmani. Okay. She says, don't call it Akashi, call it Ashmani, because Ashmani is a Urdu word.
But then why is she blaming you?
She has changed the Ma Baba. In Bengal and Orissa, we call our parents as Ma and Baba. She has changed this
then
to
why is she
Abba
blaming
and
you?
Amma.
Why is she blaming you? Why are your leaders running to the violence hit, the riot hit location right away? Why don't you all wait? The charge is that you are also fanning the fire.
Darjeeling area. These are the reasons that you are fighting with her workers and
Mr. Rahmani shouting? Mr. Rahmani, I'm not blaming you. I'm talking about TMC government. You are not the TMC spokesperson. So please allow me to speak, sir. No, please allow me to speak, sir.
I am certainly not. I am certainly not a BJP or TMC or Congress or Samajwadi Party worker.
That's the reason as to why we should have a civil debate without shouting over each other. When you were speaking, I had the courtesy of waiting for my turn. But why is it? Which madrasa?
As usual, a right as the 60,000 other rights in the country. It has nothing to do with the appeasement or the political right. It's a political right.
Mr. Rahmani, I hope your madrasa in which you studied taught you some courtesy.
I know your courtesy, and don't be personal. Don't be personal. Don't start making jokery over here.
No, I would be personal if you eat into my personal time.
Don't behave like that.
You are eating into my personal time, which has been granted by the channel to me. I was not speaking when you were speaking, sir. With due respect, I would beg of you not to interject.
I have been told that you are...
What behave yourself? You don't know any behavior. You are shouting in the middle of everyone.
Allow him to finish. Dr. Rahmani, please allow Shamit Patra to finish. Then you can come in. I know the line wasn't clear the last time. You have to still make your point. I'll come back to you. Just allow Shamit Patra to finish. You can rebuttal him. Let's give him 30 more seconds to finish his point. I asked him a question. My question was, aren't BJP leaders also responsible for fanning the fire?
Even you are Tanvi allowing him
how can BJP leaders?
My God.
Dr. Rahmani, I'm sure you want to listen to the response to my question.
When we will speak and when he will speak, you will not.
Dr. Rahmani, I have asked him a question. At least allow him to answer my question.
Please be well behaved.
I also have a problem with the way BJP leaders were trying to rush to that location. And if that was right, I want to understand what Dr. Shamit Patra thinks. Let's listen.
Yeah,
let's give him a chance to respond.
Answer that. Tanvi, two parts to this question of yours. Part number one, is the BJP responsible for the riot? Is the riot because of the fact that 3 of our leaders went to inspect the area after the riot? Of course not. The riot was a fallout of the appeasement policy of Mamata government and all kind of conspiracy that Mamata yarn weaves out. In fact, I have given you an example of as to how she was accusing even the Indian army, and she was accusing the BSF during the Kalia Chowk riots. If you remember in the Malda days, she said that it was because of the BSF that in fact the Muslim...
Yes, I just read that out. I just cited that to all our panelists and viewers.
So it is not because of BJP leaders that we have all these riots.
But aren't you fanning the fire right now? I don't think the situation is completely under control. No. I don't think, I believe that location is still on the edge. Bashirat is still not completely peaceful. Why would you want to go there and act? And if the state administration is saying, don't go, then don't go. Dr. Shamit Patra, it's been barely a few weeks when we saw similar scenes in Mandsaur. And you are on the other side.
I'll answer
retweet
that. I'll answer that.
So
remember,
yes.
Tanvi...
Okay, let other panelists also come in. Dr. Rahmani and then Shaba Naqvi, please. Dr. Rahmani wanted to come in, yes.
Just one
let me
point.
answer this. Let me just answer this part. He is in fact the BJP leaders right, or do they have the right to visit Basirhat at this point? I would say please, all those people who have been shouting at the top of the roof, saying that well, we can visit Dadri, we can go to Rohit Vemula.
But in Madhya Pradesh, the same political leaders will not be allowed to visit the affected area, and West Bengal, they are demanding to go.
Peace is prevailing
when
now.
they have the government and they stop the other political leaders,
which is out of
they are
control in
doing the
Basirhat.
correct
So
thing.
why can
And
the BJP
when Mamata
leaders
Banerjee
go?
does
And
the
the
same
irony
thing,
is the
then
BJP
there
leaders
is
were
it becomes
picked up from a
objectionable.
place
That's how
where Section
it
144 was
loudly
not even
that
imposed.
they are
The irony
politicizing
is
the situation over there.
they were picked up from a place where there was no curfew, no Section 144. So why were they picked up from that place? And if you claim that the situation is totally under control, so what is the problem if we as political opposition want to visit the place and see what you are claiming is true or not?
Dr. Rahmani and then Sabha Naqvi and Ghanshyam Tiwari also want to respond to that.
I don't think anybody has claimed the situation has become under control. It has been said that there are no further incidences has been reported and the situation is still tense.
Okay. Can I come in?
Yeah.
Sambit, just a very simple fact thing. You know, Tanvi, just remember a very simple fact thing. That recently when there were the agricultural riots in Madhya Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi and I think Scindia, they were not allowed to go there. I mean, these are just facts, Sambit. One is not arguing with that. But what I must say, I like the first part of your opening remarks when you started off Hindu lives, Muslim lives. It sounds so good. But the problem is that the entire rhetoric that is coming out from the BJP, it's only about Hindu lives, nobody cares about it. And you are so anxious to go and visit that family. There have been many incidents of lynchings. You tell me whether one BJP leader has visited any of the Muslim families which have been lynched all over India. It's a fact. It's a simple question. Did anyone bother to go? Did anyone bother to condole, to commiserate with the family? Haryana is ruled by the BJP. UP is ruled by the BJP. Rajasthan is ruled by the BJP. These incidents have happened over there. So I'm talking about the principle. I'm not getting into a tutu meme. I'm talking about the principle of human lives of people who are Indian.
So, okay, quickly to the point, Dr. Patra, your response, and then we go across to our other panelists.
Yeah, I want to answer that. Sabha, you saying that why the Bharatiya Janata Party today is speaking about the rights of the Hindus. No, we have spoken about the rights of the Muslims as well, because our agenda is absolutely clear. The agenda is appeasement of none, justice for all. And that's the reason as to why. Who said that we have not condemned the acts of lynching? We have condemned. None other than the Prime Minister has condemned the act of lynching, and he has called upon that no one in the name of any religion or Gauraksha or anything can take law in one's hand. But the issue over here is Mamata Banerjee does not have time, cannot spare even a second
I know that. I'm talking about visiting one family someday.
Why is the question?
Family.
No, Sabha, I was not
BJP
speaking.
leader
Sabha,
visiting one Muslim family.
Sabha, let me complete this. Sabha, at the end of the day, it is not about who visits the home of the dead. At the end of the day is the distorted definition of secularism, and that is gazing at our eyes. That is so well read today, this distorted definition of secularism.
Okay.
That every second person of the country is asking this question.
Yes.
Why segregation of a particular community?
Yes. And what about the deafening silence? And I must add here, Sumit, what about the deafening silence that we've seen from all big faces, big names, celebrities, activists, the entire Liberal League that for till now didn't even bother to raise their voice and ask what about the killers of Karthik Ghosh?
I call them Rudalis. I call them Rudalis. You know why I call them Rudalis?
Thankfully today, at least in several locations across the country, there were campaigns and protests. And one must mention this, saying Save Bengal. Now, Didi may see a conspiracy in that, Sunit Chopra, because that's what she usually does. I remember when she first came to power, everything was the left's problem, was because of the left. You know, and I can start quoting till 2013, infrastructure, bridge collapses, mafia, corruption, murders, riots, even journalists asking questions to Mamata Banerjee were all leftist communists who had a conspiracy against her. I think today you'll probably be a little relieved that attention has turned and the villain is BJP every single time.
No, the main thing is that if we keep looking for a conspiracy one after another, then we will never achieve any understanding of the situation. I would have hoped that today you would have mentioned that this is the birthday of Jyoti Basu, who was able to act every time there was a communal riot. He instructed the authorities and went himself. Now, you have a blind spot with regard to the left. You mentioned that the BJP was not allowed to go, but Muhammad Salim and his team tried to go, and they were also prevented, and they are CPIM. Congress went, and they were prevented. Now, why do you just mention BJP? There is something more in this country than the BJP.
Actually, Mr. Chopra, I think you missed my point. My point was to question Sambit Patra, why is it that the political parties are rushing right away? Why don't you wait? Just like the BJP said after Mandsaur protest that all of you should wait. Stop politicizing. Stop jumping and politicizing every single issue. At least let law and order come back to normalcy. M.R. Venkatesh wants to respond to what you are saying. M.R. Venkatesh, please go ahead.
No, just a minute. I want to say another thing.
Okay, what is that?
There have been 11 such riots since October. That's 11 months. There have been 11 riots. And not only that, the riots in the 24 Parganas areas have been most. There have been 6 before this.
Yeah.
And my point is, you have to understand this was a seat that the BJP won in 2014. And lost to the TMC. And now they are fighting it out between themselves in their own way.
So do you agree with Mamata Banerjee? This is BJP's fault with some external forces.
The point is the BJP does not need external forces. They have an internal force like the RSS, who is quite capable of doing every kind of thing that is wrong.
I believe Communist Party of India, Marxist, can rename itself as Communist Party of India, Mamata. Once upon a time, there were factions like Kerala faction, Bengal faction. You had Yechuri faction and Karnataka faction. No, please listen to me. Have the courtesy. I know it's... I know it is expecting too much of a communist to behave, but behave now. I didn't disturb you. Listen to this. Have the tolerance to listen.
You behave when you're lying. I'll tell you to your face.
Merged themselves into becoming cheerleader of Mamata. Arey, sir, please keep quiet. Please keep quiet. I know I'm not a Marxist. I cannot lie. It's incapable of me of lying. This Jyoti Basu is India's well-known butcher who burned Ananda Margis. Arey, you keep quiet, Chopra. Chup থাকবেন আমি বলছি একটু শুনবেন আমি কলকাতার ছেলে জানেন তো আমি ওইদিকে ছিলাম যখন জ্যোতি বাসু ওইদিকে চেঁচামেচি করছিল জানেন আপনি কি জানেন আপনি আরে আমি কলকাতার ছেলে জানেন তো আমি খুব ভালো জানি জ্যোতি বাসু কি করেছে
আমি বাংলা জানে না let's get back to a language that more people on the panel can understand please yes Amar quickly make your point please yes okay let's not get personal Amar Venkatesh finish your point please
no
I will not allow
me to make my point no Jyoti Basu was India's greatest barbarian so I don't want to be party to this now if Mamata has to put administration into full, has to take care of administration, let her arrest anybody. I am not ashamed, sir. I am not a Marxist. I will never be ashamed. I am a nationalist. Only Marxists has to be ashamed, and you people are shameless, so you can never be ashamed also. Please keep quiet and don't disturb me. Have the courtesy of listening to me. Have the tolerance. And where are these rascals? Where are these rascals of
Amar Venkatesh, calm down. Amar Venkatesh, calm down. Little restraint, please, with the language. Amar Venkatesh, my request to you, little restraint with the language, please.
Hindus are being burnt.
Yeah. Little restraint with the language, just calm down. Let's get back to the point. Let's get back to a more constructive conversation here. Okay, both of you calm down. I'm going to take the conversation to Ghanshyam Tiwari meanwhile. Have a sip of water, calm down. Taking the conversation to Ghanshyam Tiwari. Ghanshyam Tiwari, it's 9:33 on the clock on our screens for our viewers. 30 minutes into this debate, Ghanshyam Tiwari, not one of you has raised a question about what is the action that Mamata Banerjee has taken towards the perpetrators of violence in those riots. You know who was detained? The 17-year-old boy who put up that Facebook post.
If she has to arrest me, let her arrest.
No other arrest.
Me.
Then the victim's son was kept in the police station, guarded in the hospital, not even allowed to talk to us openly for entire day. The leader, the area in charge of TMC suddenly has gone underground. Where is he? Where is Mr. Biswas? Mamata Banerjee is completely silent. We spoke to a top TMC MP, Ghanshyam Tiwari, yesterday on condition of anonymity. He told us that he had been suspended because he was responsible for adding to the situation there. The kind of instructions he was giving to the police. That's what he has said. A TMC MP has told us. And not one of you want to even raise a question on that.
But BJP has said nothing about
West Bengal has the most vibrant and independent press, unlike what we are seeing play out in the national media. For me, the bigger question is that BJP, when all this is happening, their top leaders, their key supporters are inflaming it by retweeting, by reposting, by popularizing all the fake videos and images that they can get.
No, first answer my question. First answer my question. Then you can ask all the questions you want to the BJP.
Second,
I have already questioned them on their role, but you have to answer my question, Ghanshyam Tiwari. You can't be selective tonight.
I answered your question.
Where is the action against that TMC Neta? Who's protecting him? He's gone underground.
I am not selective.
What about the people who killed Karthik Ghosh?
I'm not selective. I've said that every such person must be booked, and I've said that West Bengal has the most independent press compared to now the national media itself.
You can make your digs and personal comments on whoever you want, Ghanshyam Tiwari. It just seems like you're parroting the same narrative as Mamata Banerjee, who also thought it was very convenient to blame the national media. I am telling you, Dr. Rahmani, I am saying that a top TMC Neta and MP has told us they thought this man was responsible. He added to the situation, which is why for now he's been removed from there. But why has no action been taken? Why can't Mamata's police arrest him? If they know he added to the violence that led to loss of one life, a family has been shattered. Dr. Rahmani.
No, what about the BJP leaders who are adding to the violence?
They have been stopped from entering the place.
The entire national leadership in BJP knows what is happening. There are people operating from BJP IT cell and
what else we want? The Chief Minister of the state has announced that there will be a judicial probe. And everybody wanted an inquiry. Till the other day, even you and the other media channels and people like me were demanding an inquiry. And she has today she has promised that a judicial probe will be done, and everything should come into
Dr. Rahmani, that she has promised after she has come and announced to the world, that the BJP is responsible for everything.
We cannot blame anybody. We cannot point finger that this is the killer and this is the murderer. There are, I said at the outset, like the M.R. Venkatesh also endorsed my point, that there are some fringe elements. Certainly, for one Facebook post, Islam and Muslims and the Prophet and the Kaaba cannot be insulted by one post, or even the whole community shall come together. It's a 15,000.
Dr. Rahmani, are you saying that all it takes is one Facebook post?
So the Muslim community. So
Dr. Rahmani, are you saying that all it takes is one Facebook post for the community to get insulted? Are you actually justifying that?
No, it cannot be. That's why community does not feel insulted by such kind of post or speeches or a statement, etc. No, we are not that weak. But there are some fringe elements, as I said, and Venkatesh also said that there are some elements who has in collision with the other criminals. Maybe the TMC MLA. They have mobilized the people on the vandalized.
Sabha Naqvi, please hold on. Shamit Patra wants to respond to Dr. Rahmani, and then I will come to you. Shamit Patra, please.
Let me say this.
See, Sabha, just allow me my time, and Sabha thereafter you can please come in with all due respect. Sabha, please. Tanvi, let me call the spade a spade. The problem with us debaters is we all try to be extremely political correct, and in this political correctness we lose out the real issue which is in hand. The real issue in hand over here is a 30% Muslim vote in West Bengal, and today West Bengal is sitting in a communal tinderbox because of the appeasement policy of Mamata Banerjee towards this 30% Muslim vote bank. She can go to any extent to appease the 30% because she feels that if she has to stay in power, then she needs this 30% plus certain percentage and she would be victorious, number one. Number two, all those who cry for lynching, which, well, yes, everyone should make a voice against lynching, but selective crying is the reason as to why I call these award Vapsi gang people with a new nomenclature, and that is Rudali. You know why I call them Rudalis? The Rudalis don't have their own emotion. They beat their chest and they shed tears, false tears, only when they are paid to do that. They don't have any emotions when anyone dies, but when they have their own self-interest, they would beat their chest.
Okay, got the point. Completely running out of time. Sabana, please. Yes.
I don't know what's...
I just wanted to make a quick last point.
Chamil, I'm completely out of time. I'm really sorry. I promise Abbas closing comments. Yes.
Okay, no issues.
You know, all of this about Rudalis and all, I don't get it. But I just want to say to Dr. Rahmani, one has to be vigilant. Certainly the BJP has fished in troubled waters, sir. But there has to be a realization that a brand of Muslims, why does this kind of thing happen? I have done such extensive fieldwork in Bengal at one point for a book about the nature of Islam in Bengal, how syncretic it was, how it was linked to Hindu traditions. Now you have this kind of promotion of a very, very intolerant type of Islam, and for whatever reasons, people, because of political patronage and all, they thrive, they grow, and the consequence of that is only anti-Muslim sentiment. So let's be honest about that.
Yeah, exactly. And Sama, you say political patronage, Sabha. You say political patronage. In the year 2016-2017, many of these leaders have been spotted, or these people have been spotted with Mamata Banerjee. They have the open endorsement of the Chief Minister herself. I just want to give one example as I close. I'm really sorry to all our panelists. I can't come back to you. But this is what happened. Firad Hakim, who's an accused in the Narda scam, was made the head of temple board by Mamata Banerjee. Firad Hakim was made the head of a temple board. He's an accused in the Narda scam. He allegedly took some Pakistani reporters to his constituency and said, this is my mini Pakistan. This is the man who is getting the support of Mamata Banerjee, and then we say there is no appeasement in a state. Completely out of time. I thank all my panelists for joining us tonight.